Bruce, Ryan Clark, ESPN. It seems like one of the stories of this postseason with your team has been you get goals from everywhere. So what did it mean to see that tonight to open a series, especially knowing like, hey, look, this is how teams win at this time of the year?
Well, it's good for our team because that's what we've done, right? Everyone has a different formula. Certainly ours, 5-on-5 scoring. It's been excellent for us throughout the lineup. So you're happy for Howie, obviously. He had a real good series against Winnipeg. They were a little, quieter, I guess, for lack of a better word, against Edmonton. But Teddy Bluger scores a huge goal for us. We didn't even play the first X amount of games and, goes in for Amadio. He moves some people around. Amo scored a huge overtime goal for us in Winnipeg. So it can't always be the stars, right, or the guys that you would expect. And that's what's been good about our team. We've had different people step up in key moments. It's the time of the year where you got to enjoy the moment and you got to, kind of embrace it. And we've had that with some guys that, raise your hand if you had Howden in your pool tonight in overtime, right? Like you probably went a different direction, right? And that's good for us. That's why we've been able to win.
Stay on the left.
Bengals, Las Vegas Regional. Bruce, another theme of this postseason, you guys able to respond when adversity hits? You lose 2 third-period leads. Just what does it say about the group that they keep finding a way to reset?
Well, that's the positive. We keep pushing. We have a good response. As a coach, you're right away looking to, you got to be able to finish those games, close out those games, because they'll catch up to you, right? So there's both sides of it. So we'll enjoy the fact that we won, and we do keep responding. And we'll just keep working on, some of the situations that come up for us if we're not able to close out of the game. For the most part, we have. There was a game in Winnipeg. We had a 4-1 lead, and they found a way back in and made some good plays. Full credit to them that, we should have closed it out, but we bounced back in overtime in that game. So I think our guys do have that short memory, so to speak, and are able to reset and refocus. Veteran group usually is able to do that, so give credit to them, and that's why we've done it a lot. We've played through a lot of different things this year, whether it's injuries, our goaltending situation's well documented, different things. And we just keep playing. So that's what we have in the room, guys that want to keep playing. So that's what happened tonight. We kept playing. We put it behind us. It's tough sometimes in the last 2 minutes. But you can't let it bother. You got to keep going. And good for us for doing that.
Right side up front.
Bruce, Willie Ramirez for the Sporting Tribune. You mentioned off the first question the depth and not all the big names. Mixed in there is William Karlsson, and we've been talking about it since the first series, and once again he comes up big tonight.
Yeah, he's had a really good, a real second half of the year, but a really good playoff. And some of the icy covers, the little things you don't see in terms of reloads, back checks, stick position, winning board battles. It's a lot of little things that go into his game, and I'm happy to see him getting rewarded scoring because, again, he's going to the areas where you're going to find pucks in the dirty areas, and he's still able to play solid defense and work his way out of those areas when it doesn't work out and defend really well. So can't say enough good things about him. Again, you need guys like that this time of year. We're strong down the middle. I think it's been a key to our team all year, and he's a big reason for that.
Stay on the right.
Jesse Granger with the Athletic Hybrids. Keegan Kolesar blocks a shot that stung him, and it looked like he had some really good jump after that. He crashes the net and creates a goal. You've used the phrase, it hurts to win a lot this year. Is that an example of that?
Sure is, right? Sure is. If you're going to have to put yourself in harm's way. Board battles, you do that, take a hit to make a play, go to the front of the net. Sometimes the puck doesn't always find you, and you're taking cross checks and whacks, shot blocks, go right down the list, right? And if you're not willing to do that, then I don't know if you win. I really don't. You better have some really, really high-end talent or a goal that just keeps you in every night. So it's been a formula for us all year. Maybe that's why we've had a few injuries, because you do put yourself in harm's way. We've been able to play through it. But yes, we've bought into that, and credit to the guys. They're the ones that have to make the commitment on the ice, and they have.
Ken Bolkison in Nut Vegas. Felt like you guys had a lot of zone time tonight, and I think a lot of that had to do with how good you played at the blue lines. What went so well at both blue lines?
Manage the puck. When you play behind them, you're going to get some back. You're not going to get them all back, but we're forcing them to now make a breakout play. You have to execute in order to get out of your zone, and you need to have good puck placement on those, some structure on your forechecks, so you're not duplicating all over the ice. You're able to put pressure on, and effort. It's effort plays. And it's been a big key to our success in the entire playoffs. And we've got to that part of our game we've been a real good team. Because when we do create turnovers, we're dangerous enough that we can put pucks in the net. And the 5-on-5 numbers have sort of, reflect that. And then at our blue line, if we can defend our blue line well, I mean, I thought they had a bit of the same strategy. They were trying to get behind us. I mean, it's that time of year, right? The ice, it's typically hard to generate off the rush unless you've kind of fatigued the team first by doing some of those things and they lose their gap. So it's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it Sunday. So you can put that in print or whatever it is these days. That's our game, and we're not trying to hide from it. Hopefully we still get a few rush chances built in there because we do things well. We did have some 2-on-1s to put the game away by winning board battles early on. Stoney had one. Jack and Barbie late. Bluger and Coley make another play. So some of those opportunities are certainly there, but I think it starts with, playing behind them and then forechecking as a group of 5.
Second row on the right.
Bruce, Alan Snow with LVSportsBiz.com. You mentioned how winning these games where you can't close it out, but you win in the end kind of cut both ways. I'm wondering, but the team has had a really good record with 1-goal wins this year. I'm just wondering, is the team beginning, what's your take on just why the team seems to squeeze out these 1-goal wins some way or the other?
Well, that's... it's a good question. As I said, I think we're a resilient group. We do have a short memory. Don't let everything bother us. We do have the ability to score after a team comes back because, we simply can't score. It's just the makeup of the group. Sometimes you have those seasons where you don't overcome things. We have that group that will this year. Credit to the, usually starts at the top. The guys that have won, the Petros and the Martys set the example and kind of trickles down. This team's been to a lot of different playoff series. They know that a game doesn't usually swing or, end on one play. Overtime, obviously, but in general, there's a lot of different things that go into it, so get back to it. And as I said, I think the players, when they give up a lead and score right away, they don't remember that they gave up a lead as much as we do as coaches because we're watching everything over again and we want to be perfect. So I think players that just look at it sometimes, the natural ebbs and flows of games. They're gonna make some plays. They got good players. Every team you play in this league has good players that are gonna push back. They want to win too. So I think there's a little bit of that involved that you forget sometime as a coach. And so we try not to get too worked up if that does happen. Let's correct it. How can we be better? And again, there's an example. We'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. Hey, when we have the lead, where did it go wrong? And sometimes you can't pinpoint it. Just the other team, like the 6-on-5, I thought we did some good things, and we just didn't get in front of that shot from the top, and they outnumber us at the net because they have an extra guy in the ice. And we were trying to battle it out. Give them credit. They got it to the net, and we weren't able to find the loose puck.
We have time for 2 more. In the middle, Dan.
Bruce, Dan Rosen, NHL.com. I'm wondering, as it went into overtime, everybody else was watching the game, were you thinking about what happened last night in overtime? And
I was, Dan. I said, let's get this over with early so everyone can go home tonight because there's a lot of work around the National Hockey League. I watched the game from start to finish. I found out the beauty of being out west now. As the game ended, it was still 11 o'clock at night. So that's the one, was kind of nice. Listen, you never know how those are going to go, so don't turn down any shots, I guess. I thought the goaltenders last night, not to digress from tonight, I thought they played really well in overtime. Like, there was chances to score. Just didn't happen. So, but, hey, we were able to capitalize in the first look. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's 4 overtimes.